to support its students in Nigerian tertiary institutions. The management of the Federal College of Education, Obudu, commended NEL Fund for the successful implementation of the initiative. Similarly, Abdulkadir Kure University expressed gratitude for the intervention, noting that it had significantly eased financial difficulty for its students. NEL Fund reiterated its dedication to ensuring that no qualified Nigerian student is denied access to higher education due to financial constraints.
A former National Security Advisor, retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki, and 3 others were rearranged today before a Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja over an alleged 33.2 billion naira fraud. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) brought the charges against Dasuki alongside a former general manager of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Aminu Babakusa, as well as 2 companies, Acacia Holdings Limited and Reliance Referral Hospital Limited. The defendants are facing a 32-count charge bordering on alleged criminal breach of trust and dishonest release of public funds. The rearrangement before Justice Charles Agbasa follows the reassignment of the case by the FCT Chief Judge, Justice Hussein Baba Yusuf, who was previously handling the matter. At the resumed hearing today, the defendant pleaded not guilty to the 32 counts read to them. The prosecution counsel, Oluyole Atolagbe, then requested a trial date. Lawyers to Dasuki and Babakusa, A.A. Husman and Richard Ibiye urged the court to allow the defendants to continue enjoying their existing bail, assuring that they had always been present for court proceedings. After considering submissions from both sides, Justice Agbasa ruled that the defendant should remain on their existing bail and adjourned the trial to 1st of July.
The Nigeria Customs Service has intercepted 125,000 liters of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, in Kebbi State, disrupting an anti-smuggling operation. Customs said the seizure, carried out under Operation Whirlwind, is the largest fuel bust recorded since the initiative began. Speaking at a press briefing in Birnin Kebbi on Tuesday, the National Coordinator of Operation Whirlwind, ACG Hisani Ejibunu, described fuel smuggling as a major economic threat, contributing to revenue losses, artificial scarcity, and security risk. He revealed that operatives from the Kebbi Area Command and the Federal Operations Unit, soon be acting on intelligence, intercepted 3 Scania trucks loaded with fuel in Samia. The Controller General of Customs, Bashir Adeniyi, represented by ACG Hussaini Ajibunu, praised the officer's vigilance and commended the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, for his role in the broader fight against economic crimes. He urged the Nigerians to support customs anti-smuggling efforts by reporting suspicious activities.
This broadcast of News Scope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. 17 students of Government Technical College Orita Akpere Ibadan, arrested by the police for allegedly invading CAC Grammar School and causing significant destruction, will be made to face the full wrath of the law. The State Commissioner of Police, Johnson Adinola, stated this at a meeting with various stakeholders in the education and security sectors, as well as parents of the students. Addressing stakeholders at a meeting over the incident, the State Commissioner of Police, Johnson Adinola, said his command will not take lightly to issue or students gang violence in schools. He disclosed that out of the 9 students arrested, During the violent attacks, 42 found to be innocent have been released, while the remaining 17 will be thoroughly investigated and made to face appropriate sanctions. Addressing newsmen after the meeting, the State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Saliu Adelabu, lauded the police for ensuring proper investigation of the matter, noting that the suspect will be made to face juvenile court under the Child Rights Law. CP Adenola used the opportunity to charge parents and guardians to go extra miles in ensuring that the children and wards are responsible students and avoid acts constituting security threats to the society.
The Oluyole State Commissioner of Police, Johnson Adenola, has dispelled the rumor of an alleged farmers-herders clash in Atiba local government area of the state. Speaking to newsmen at the command's headquarters, Oluyole, Ibadan, he said the incident was rather an affray than herders-farmers clash. He noted that the incident, which happened between two residents of the area on Friday, the 21st March, was a fight between a farmer and a herdsman. CP Adenola disclosed that the two people are already receiving medical attention for the injuries they inflicted on each other, noted that they will both be made to face the law for disturbing public peace. The police commissioner, while reiterating the commitment of the law enforcement agency at ensuring the effectiveness of the anti-grazing law in the state, urged any aggrieved person to rather seek redress in law into their own hands. He speaks further.
And I want to use this medium to dispel that news. There was nothing like herder-farmer clash in the state. There was a clash between one Tiamiyu and one Isiaka. A fight which we call Afri, when two people engage in fighting in public place. They inflicted injuries on themselves, and it was localized between the two of them. There was no issue between farmers and herder in the state. And I equally want to add, the command has received so many reports of herders grazing on farmers' farmland. I want to equally use this medium to remind the public that the command will vehemently and seriously implement the anti-grazing law. We all have our rights, and we should limit ourselves to wherever we are supposed to be. We will not encourage people encroaching on any other person's right or destroying any other person's property in the course of carrying out their duties. It's unlawful. Oluyole Police Command under my watch will not tolerate it.
The leadership of the Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, has sought the partnership of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oluyole State BCOS in a bid to promoting professionalism in the engineering practice. The Council's leadership, led by its President, Engineer Sadiq Abubakar, made this known during a courtesy visit to the management of the BCOS in Ibadan. Our reporter, Aisha Olusoji, has the details of the meeting, which took place in the VIP room of the corporation.
The Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, was established by Decree 55 of 1970 and amended by Decree 27 of 1992. The Council is a professional body empowered to accredit training institutions and regulate the practice of engineers, technologists, technicians, and craftsmen in Nigeria. The three groups of National Leadership of COREN, Southwest Leadership of COREN, and Engineering Regulation, Monitoring and Enforcement, which is the soul of COREN, were represented at the meeting held with the management of Broadcasting Corporation of Oluyole State. Addressing the BCOS management, the president of COREN, Engineer Sadiq Abubakar, said the visit was to establish an institutional media partnership with corporation. He solicited BCOS Corporation at sensitizing and enlightening the public on accessing safe services of various engineering professionals.
An institutional partnership with one of the key mouthpieces in not only Oyo State but in Southwest. We deliberately come here to discuss with you And eventually, if we have our way, we may even want to solicit for an MOU to be signed. And why do we need this? I think it's very obvious. The regulation of engineering transcends beyond the current staff. Engineering is supposed to be regulated in the hinterland, in the local government areas. And how do we do that? We are very soon going to have what you call the whistleblowers at the state level, intelligence and surveillance officers, and then inspectors.
The General Manager of BCOS, Mr. Goke Adelakun, assured the Council of the Corporation's readiness to partner stakeholders with a view to guaranteeing the safety of the people. He also commended the Engineering Department of BCOS for ensuring the sustainability of the corporation.
JEGU can be produced, can be conceptualized one way or the other. If with this, the state sharing committee that is here, we will also set up our own team to meet with them and to fashion out a program that will be tailored toward your major objective. And that's why it is necessary. Once your team is ready, we have our own team. The Director of Engineering is here. The Director of Programs is here. The Director of News and Current Affairs Department is also here. Those are the people that we are, and also Director of Commercials are also here. We won't give you something that will not be able to. A lot of discounts will be given to you based on the fact that we have done all these things free of charge, but it won't be possible because of some.
The visit, which was used by the current delegation to tour the BCOS facility, saw the exchange of souvenirs between the two parties. Aisha Olusoji, BCOS News.
Let's now go over to our sports studio for the exciting world of sports with Victor Opone.
And thank you for joining us on the sports segment of the news. I am Victor Opone. Former FIFA President Sepp Blatter and France great Michel Platini were both cleared of corruption charges by a Swiss court on Tuesday, 2.5 years after they were first acquitted of the offences. The pair, once among the most powerful figures in global football, were cleared of fraud at the extraordinary appeals chamber of the Swiss criminal court in the town of Moutennes near Basel. The hearing came about after Swiss federal prosecutors appealed their 2022 acquittal at a lower court. Both men had denied the charge, which related to a 2 million Swiss franc payment Blatter authorized for Platini in 2011. The court said there were doubts about the prosecution's allegation that the payment for Platini, a former captain and manager of the French national team, was fraudulent. The 2022 indictment had accused Blatter and Platini of deceiving FIFA staff in 2010 and 2011 about an obligation for world football's ruling body to pay Platini. Chelsea are willing to sign Jadon Sancho on a permanent deal from Manchester United despite a £5 million clause that would allow them to cancel the deal. Sancho moved to Chelsea on loan in August on a deal that reportedly included an obligation for Chelsea to buy the winger for £25 million. But after a promising start to life at Stamford Bridge, the 24-year-old form has dipped and details have emerged of a way out for the West London club if they paid a cancellation fee. With just 2 goals in all competitions and none since December, Sancho has struggled to hold on a regular place in Enzo Maresca's side as they chase qualification for next season's Champions League. However, Sancho's permanent transfer is reportedly expected to go ahead as planned, with Chelsea hoping it can recapture the form that helped Borussia Dortmund reach the Champions League final during a loan spell last season. And as we wrap up in cricket, former Bangladesh captain Tamim Iqbal regained consciousness and was speaking to family members after suffering a major heart attack during a domestic match, cricket authorities told AFP on Tuesday. The 36-year-old was leading Mohammedan Sporting Club in a match of the 50 over Dhaka Premier Division Cricket League when he was rushed to a nearby hospital after severe chest pain on Monday. Mohammedan physiotherapist Enamul Haki said Tamim was in a stable condition and would likely be transferred to another medical facility soon. Tamim was in critical condition when he was rushed to hospital. Razib Hassan, the medical doctor at the facility where Tamim received treatment, told reporters on Monday. He also sent Tamima to undergo surgery to implant stents to clear an artery blockage. And with that, we have come to the end of the news from the ever exciting world of sports. Thank you for joining. I am Victor Pone.
On the foreign scene, a strong 6.7 magnitude earthquake struck off New Zealand's South Island as authorities have warned people living in coastal areas to get out of the waters and move away from beaches. Foreign desk editor Bimbo Akobe has the details of this and more foreign news.
Residents of Southland and Fiordland regions should stay away from marine areas as strong and unusual currents may present a danger, the National Emergency Management Agency said after the earthquake on Tuesday. More than 4,700 people felt the quake, government seismic monitor GeoNet said, as New Zealand media reported items falling and buildings swaying. The quake was reported at a depth of 33 kilometers, that is 21 miles, about 160 kilometers northwest of Snares Islands, the northernmost of New Zealand's sub-Antarctic islands, GeoNet said in an alert. The United States Geological Survey said the quake, which was downgraded from an earlier magnitude of 7, happened at a depth of about 10 kilometers, that is about 6 miles. Australia's National Weather Bureau said there was no tsunami threat to the mainland, islands or territories. Still talking disasters, deadly wildfires in South Korea worsened overnight, officials said on Tuesday, as dry, windy weather hampered efforts to contain one of the country's worst ever fire outbreaks. More than a dozen different blazes broke out over the weekend, with the safety minister reporting thousands of hectares burnt and 4 people killed. The wildfires have so far affected approximately 14,694 hectares, with damage continuing to grow. Acting Interior and Safety Minister Ko Ki-dong said the extent of damage will make the fires collectively the third largest in South Korea's history. The largest was on April 2000 blaze that scorched 23,913 hectares across the east coast. More than 3,000 people have been evacuated to shelters, Ko said. At least 11 people have been seriously injured. In Huiseong, the sky was full of smoke and haze. Workers at a local temple were attempting to move historical artifacts and cover up Buddhist statues to protect them from possible damage. The Korea Forest Service said the containment rate for the fire in Huiseong decreased from 60 to 55% by Tuesday morning. And a man who fell into a large sinkhole in South Korea's capital, Seoul, has been found dead, according to the local fire department. The man was riding his motorbike in the Gangdong district when the road caved in at about 18:30 local time on Monday. Rescuers found his body underground on Tuesday morning around 1100 local time, about 50 meters, that is about 164 feet from where he had fallen in. A car driver was also injured in the incident, which has gone viral on South Korean social media. A dashcam video widely circulating online appears to show the moment the road caved in near a traffic junction. It shows the motorcyclist falling into the hole while a car traveling in front of him narrowly escaped it. The man, said to be in his 30s, has yet to be named by authorities. Kim Chang-seok, head of Gangdong Fire Station, said at an earlier briefing that there were 2,000 tons of soil and water mixed inside the hole. Authorities have yet to reveal the cause of the sinkhole. Bimbo Akambi, BCUS News.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. Southern and Eastern African countries have expanded a team of former heads of state overseeing efforts to resolve the conflict in Eastern Congo.
President Bola Tinubu today flagged off the movement of the Total Unity ahead of the 22nd National Sports Festival Gateway Games Ogun State 2025, holding from the 16th of May to the 30th of May 2025.
17 students of Government Technical College Orita Bado arrested by the police for allegedly invading CAC Grammar School and causing significant destruction will be made to face the full role for the law.
On the foreign scene, a strong 6.7 magnitude earthquake struck off New Zealand's South Island as authorities have warned people living in coastal areas to get out of the waters and move away from beaches.
And that's all from Newscope Desk for now. It was packaged by Folashade Akitola and delivered by
Pat Aito. Good evening.
I am Jamila Ilegbede. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8 p.m. Good evening.
The news.
The richness so amazing. For your cereal, tea and purple. Dano evaporated milk. Pour it, taste it. Creamy and delicious. Dano evaporated milk.
Now you can enjoy a great creamy taste with Dano Full Cream and Dano Cool Cow Evaporated Milk. Try it and taste the Dano difference.
Best in news, sports and entertainment. We got everything you need and so much more, yeah.
98.5 FM. Oluyole. 98.5 FM.
Hear me now. To your dial to the #1 station. Creative and quality information. Brighten up your day in so many ways. Tune to 98.5 FM.
Oluyole. 98.5 FM.
98.5
FM. Oluyole. 98.5 FM. 98.5 FM.
Tuntun ni o, ó sì yàtọ̀. Wákàtí ìràpadà, àkànṣe ètò onímísí ìyè tí ń la ọ̀rọ̀ pàtàkì ìràpadà mọ́lẹ̀ láì fikú bọyọ̀ fúlùlùfọ́n lọ́jọ́jọ́ ṣẹ́gun oní ọmọdún kanakana ní Olúyọ̀lé net